good? What's good? What's good to everybody in Sports Talk America? It's your boy, Mr. Franchise, a.k.a. thatdude.com, a.k.a. the great sports analyst to every blessed sports ways. Welcome to the Nothing But Sports Show, hosted by myself and my co-host tonight, hailing from the great state of Texas, my boy Justin. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? It's been a little bit since we've done a show. We did a great interview last week, and I'm excited to get back into the wing of things and talk sports with you, man.
Oh, outstanding. Man, let's jump right into it, man. Let's talk about this March Madness, man. Who starts up this week? Brackets came out on Sunday. Who you got? Who's your favorite? And also, who's your sleeper?
Of course, I'm kind of like with the nation right now. I think most people are saying Gonzaga. They're undefeated right now. I actually filled out my brackets. I didn't watch a lot of college basketball this year, but when I did, I'm going to go with a non-popular answer right here. I'm going to go with Baylor. I think Baylor takes it all. I know they've had they struggled in the Big 12 tournament, but I think they have a lot of quality wins early on in the season against some big name schools, and I think that they are going to be battle tested enough. I don't think Gonzaga is really battle tested. I think they have a weak schedule throughout the year, and I think that's going to hurt them. I think the first couple rounds are going to be good for Gonzaga because they play a lot of the teams they've already played earlier in the year. But I think once they get to the round of 8 and the Final Four, I think they'll really struggle. I think my biggest sleeper this year is Tennessee. Tennessee looked really good in the SEC tournament. I think that's a team that could really make some noise this year, pull off a couple upsets. I don't see them winning the whole thing, but I think they can really make some noise in this tournament. And that's who I got, man. What about you?
So let me start off by saying that this is a very interesting field. I've been watching college basketball. I love college basketball. I think college basketball is the true essence of basketball for the most part, because you get to see play after play after play. And you do get to see good basketball. For me, and this is just me, the team to beat, the favorite is Gonzaga. They got one of the top offenses in all of America. They have one of the top defensive efficiency in all of America. You got one of the best guards in America in Jalen Suggs. I mean, it's time for years. We could date back to the Adam Morrison days, Ronnie Torioff. It's their time. And the way this team is built and constructed, they're gonna make noise. I'm sorry. And for the record, Justin, they are battle tested. They beat Iowa. Okay, they beat some heavy hitters, and Iowa, and they were down in the West Coast Conference Championship game by like double digits, came back and won by double digits. And they proved to me, like, any style of offense, they just ready. Bottom line. Now, some teams to look at. I like Alabama. I think Bama is tough. I like Arkansas. Two really good teams. Florida State is. You know what? I'm gonna say the Florida State one because that's one of my sleepers. But okay. I really like this field. I think Baylor's going to get knocked off really quick, and the only reason I say that, this is why. They cannot shoot. If they're off, like if they're not making the three, they're in serious trouble. Like serious trouble. In addition to that, I love Like I'm a huge lover of Virginia. I think Virginia has what it takes at the right time to knock people off. They got the experience. Um, I think their road is going to be a little bit tricky. I think Michigan's got a tough out. Illinois is going to be bounced quick. I'm telling y'all right now. If you got Illinois in your bracket, do not put them in the round of 8 because they will get knocked off in the Sweet 16. Bank it, book it, write it, however you want. Illinois, I'm gonna say this: Illinois, Baylor, out. They will not make it to the round of 8. I'm telling you now.
Wow.
They're not. Sweet 16 at best. That's it. Like the way that it's set up for them, round of 16. That's about it. Michigan is going to make it to. I say the final. I say the Elite 8, Final 4. I think the injury to was it livers is going to really hurt them as you get deeper into the tourney. But Gonzaga, man, I'm sorry. If anybody says anybody other than Gonzaga, you tripping, because that team is just. If you ain't stayed up past midnight to watch this team, hey man, don't talk about it. Whatever you do, don't talk about it.
So do you see them as being one of the greatest teams of all time? I mean,
No.
going undefeated. I mean, the thing is, like, there's not many teams that have done that in the history of college basketball.
If you're
people
talking
put them as the favorite, you're 100% sure they're going to win. To go undefeated, you have to put them up there.
if you're saying the greatest college basketball team of all time, I hate to do this to them, and I hate to be any bit of disrespectful, but I gotta be slightly disrespectful. They're really good. Don't get it twisted. However, if you're telling me the greatest, no. No. Oh no, buddy. No. They're
Okay.
not like that Kentucky squad with Tubby Smith, massive. Arizona when Bibby was there, crazy.
I would have to put the Michigan team.
That both, yes, but thank you. They both solid. Bottom line, solid. You couldn't even like that Fab Five squad was crazy. But like I said, I couldn't put them I couldn't put them up there. So in terms of my sleepers, I really like Florida State. They defend hard, they play hard. Coach Hamilton does a great job getting those guys prepared. In a very tough ACC, I think it's their time. I think they're going to make some huge noise. Quite possibly a Sweet 16 Elite 8 type berth. Watch Arkansas. Please watch Arkansas. Arkansas is, whoo, man, they tough. Another sleeper, and this, I'm only saying this because I personally think they could give Michigan a run for their money. And I'm not saying they're going to beat the Michigan. I'm not saying they're going to beat Michigan. I'm just saying they're going to give Michigan a run for their money, and that's LSU. LSU, if they're knocking down shots, and they defend, if LSU, I'm saying this now, can defend and keep Hunter Dickinson, who, that's my dude from the DMV area. I've watched him since 7th grade. If they could stop that, LSU is going to be tough. But they got to defend. If they don't defend, hey, they're going to be out. They're going to be out second game in the round of 32 easily. Virginia, another squad to watch for. I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. If Iona survives Bama, Iona's not a bad team. If they survive Alabama, which I think Bama's just going to blast their head in, but if they survive Bama, they're not that bad off.
Do you see any problems arriving with COVID? Do you see them having any kind of issues?
So I think it's gonna be very, very interesting how they handle this. Um, because of how the games are played and how close they are, and like every weekend, I think it's like Friday, like you usually play the Friday or Sunday or something to that effect. I think it's going to be very, very tricky, and I think players and coaches are going to be on their P's and Q's, because if they're not, what's going to end up happening is, man, you might, oh man, it's going to be bad. So I'm saying I could see it with a couple of teams struggling, to get to this point, but I'm just, man. I could definitely see COVID being a showstopper, and not say canceling the tournament, but canceling some games and pushing the tourney back.
Yeah, because once one gets canceled, a whole bracket's gonna have to stop, pretty much.
Right. Right. No, you're right. You're right. So let's move right along. So last weekend we saw the NBA All Star Weekend. How did you feel about it? Did you feel like it was a success? And what was your favorite moment of All Star Weekend?
I think it was definitely a success. I know there were players like LeBron James who did not want to have an All Star weekend. They said they would do it because they were, part of the bargaining agreement, but they would not be there in spirit. I don't think that was the case. I think they really embraced it. You could tell in the game. LeBron really had fun. He got to play with Steph Curry for the first time, so he was really out there. You could see he was enjoying himself. Um, I wasn't a big fan of the slam dunk contest. I think he was pretty whack. I don't think there was very much no innovation in it at all. I mean, the winner was someone who put their mouth a foot away from the rim, didn't kiss it, but looked like he could have. Um, I didn't like that part. It being during the halftime show was kind of, I don't know, the fact that it wasn't an event in itself. My favorite moments were probably watching Dame and Curry go back to back to back, three, uh, going from half court. Like, who does that? Who who just pops off from half court? They were shooting from half court better than most players shoot from the free throw line. That is insane. They were just going. I mean, it was a show. And watching Chris Paul and Curry go back to back on alleys, that was insane.
Thank you. Thank
That was
you.
insane. What watching those two small point guards show that they can be big boys. Um, I was kind of disappointed in Zion. He didn't do it. He didn't perform very well in his first All Star appearance. I think they kept lobbing the ball, and I think he got 2 out of like 8 or 9 dunks. So I think they tried to feed him the ball, but he just wasn't. He didn't perform very well. Luka didn't do very well, considering I really thought Luka would be better in the All Star game. He didn't. He didn't really shine at all. It was really the Dame show and the Curry show and the Green.
Ooh.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the game. I did like them breaking it down into quarters. I thought it made it more interesting because once a game kind of gets out of hand, you really don't care who wins. But now that when you have it broke down by quarter, and each quarter going to a charity, I thought that was pretty interesting. So no matter how terrible you did 3 quarters, you could still win some money for a charity in the fourth quarter. I thought that was pretty interesting. It didn't work out very well considering uh, LeBron's team won every quarter, but it was a good concept. So I think it was definitely a success. There was a lot of good moments, and I hope to see more of that.
Um, I'll say this, right? I'm a 3 point shooting. Like, I thought the slam dunk competition was just ultra whack. They could have did away with it. Um, and I really, I wish they would. take a strong look at bringing back the like Zion's. I want God like make that joint star studded. I don't want G League dudes in there. I don't want these like I don't want dudes that's like the 14th player on the bench.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. I don't. Like we need the stars. Like we really need the stars. And that's what I was looking for. Slam dunk competition was bogus. The skills competition was dope. Shout out to the big men out there, man. I mean, I was definitely impressed. Sabonis won it, which I was like, damn, this dude is knocked down. He cash money, okay. I like Steph. Steph, it was like, yo, Steph and whoever was playing for second. That's literally what it was. Steph and who's playing for second. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I'm going to go a step further. I want Steph to come back next year and defend against Clay. I want that so bad. Like, I so badly want Steph to defend against Clay. I just do. Because I think that would be so dope with the Splash Brothers. Like, I'm a huge fan of the Splash Brothers. Now to the game, I loved it. I loved the coach. At the end of the game, plus 24. And then in honor of Kobe Bryant, that was I love that. I absolutely love that. The game itself wasn't bad at all. Dame, closing it out. I loved it. I thought Steph would have closed it. And by the way, Giannis,
did he go
perfect?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And it wasn't just perfect like slams or perfect layup.
No, it was everything. Yo, but the only knock I got on Giannis, man, and you basketball, your basketball players out there, y'all know this. It's one of the top 5 rules, right? Hey, man, you hit a bank shot, you got to call what? You got to call glass. You ain't going to just shoot no bank shot and not call glass. I need that glass. I need glass, especially that bank shot. That bank shot I was like,
it went in.
You gotta call glass, bro. You don't call glass, you got a problem.
Cool here, man. We're not calling shots.
Hey, no, that's part of the game. That is an unwritten rule. You don't call glass, we got a problem. That shit don't count. It don't count. It don't count. All you basketball fans comment. You don't call glass, it don't count. Let's move right along. So let's get into some football. Man. Drew Brees, my guy, Drew Brees, retired on Sunday. Decided to hang it up. What were your thoughts on the retirement, and what was your favorite Drew Brees moment?
I'm very saddened. I mean, you can look at the background here. I'm a huge Drew Brees fan, huge New Orleans Saints fan. So I was very saddened. I mean, I knew it was coming. As soon as I saw him walk off the field against Tampa Bay, I kind of knew the writing on the wall. Him having this moment with Tom Brady and his kids after the game, I knew the writing was on the wall. I kind of in him restructuring his contract. Everything was leading to his retirement. He still kept hope alive. I still, prayed and hoped that he would stay. But every good thing has to end. He will go down as my top 2 quarterbacks to ever watch in my lifetime. Not top 2 quarterbacks of all time. Don't get it twisted. But my favorite to watch. My top 2 will always be Brett Favre and Drew Brees. But what he meant to the city of New Orleans, I don't think could ever be matched by any other athlete. For I mean, maybe LeBron James with Cleveland, but I still don't see it being that impactful as Drew Brees was to the city of New Orleans. I think his off the field work in the city of New Orleans is something that can't be matched. His leadership on the field would never be matched. He brought a franchise that wore paper bags on their faces to the promised land, and nobody else was able to do that. Before Drew Brees, the best quarterback the Saints ever had was Aaron Brooks, and we've had this discussion with Jasper, and Jasper,
Oh, come, Aaron
Aaron great
Brooks
fan
was
of all
the
time.
best. Okay, we're not gonna do this. Go ahead.
And at the end of the day, he's the only quarterback to bring the Saints to a playoff performance. It was Aaron Brooks. Before that, nobody else could. Anyway, the Drew Brees. I think my best moment. Most people would say, him winning the Super Bowl, but to me, the thing I'm going to remember Drew Brees the most by was his on the field leadership. His pre-game huddle chant was something that like I'd never seen before. I'd never seen, a small 6 foot quarterback get in there with giants and motivate them like he had. You know, his speeches before every single game, and every game it was different. Every game he knew how to motivate his team to the max, and that to me was something so special that I will always forever remember about Drew Brees was his on the field leadership. His presence was like no other, and I'm sad to see him go. I'm glad he went on his own terms. I'm glad he wasn't sidelined by an injury or something like that. That he was able to make that decision on his own. I think he deserved that, and I think that the New Orleans franchise will forever be in his debt for his services in New Orleans.
Who man? There's so many Drew Brees um moments that I can just pick from. Monday Night Football. I felt like he was magic. I mean, he was just spot on. Him breaking um him breaking the touchdown record. Him, when Drew Brees broke the all time passing yards record. When he broke the touchdown record, completions, um, so many. Um, but I've got to be honest and say my personal favorite Drew Brees moment has to be when he won that Super Bowl. And I'm speaking for. I'm gonna just say this. I'll be 38 in December. Okay, and I've been the Saints fan. I'll tell you right now, since I came out the womb. I mean, I went through wars at school for people, um, people that would talk trash about Breeze, or not Breeze, but talk trash about the Saints in general. And then, going into the Navy, I heard people talk trash about Breeze. But winning that Super Bowl meant so much, not only to the city, but to the fans, man. Like, if you are a diehard New Orleans Saints fan, like that meant the world to you. Um, I can't even, Truex and Sports Junkies over here saying, him holding his son when the confetti fell. That was a touching moment. I ain't gonna front. That was very touching. Um, what I will say is that I mean, when it comes to Breeze, um, I gotta just say, man, that dude just did it for me, man. Like he was a blessing. He was what we needed at a pivotal moment, and I'm so glad that he's going to go ahead and you know walk off in the sunset with a clear mind and a clear heart. So much congrats to you. Real quick, I just want to say to Keo, aka
I knew it was coming.
aka I can't rap, aka um, Southern Cali, Southern Cali's trash. Listen, um, I need you not to talk about Drew Brees because Drew Brees did something that the Dallas Cowboys ain't done since I was in high school, and that was on the Super Bowl. Okay, actually, before high school, I'm gonna go a step further. Drew Brees won a Super. Look, we won a Super Bowl back in what 09, 2010. Okay, the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys. First of all, you from Northern Cali, and you talking about you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. Nuts. Second part, you are you a fan because y'all won in the 90s. First of all, you was a kid when they were in the 90s. You eating Gerber food when they won in the 90s. So please let it go. Okay? That star should have like dumpster juice on it on the helmet. Okay? I'm just saying. Okay? Now, with that being said, man, let's move right along. Because Keo, we were in elementary school. Mr. Sports Junkie. That is very true. All right. Keo was eating Gerber food while we were in elementary school watching the Cowboys cheat their way to a championship. But anyway, let's move right along. So Taysom Hill just got a huge contract, 4 years, $140 million. Was it a good signing for the Saints? Can I go first on this?
Yes.
I personally think that whoever gave Taysom Hill this deal wants him to compete for 1 year and leave. He ain't beating out Jameis Winston. I'm sorry. If you think Jameis Winston is going to lose out the starting role in New Orleans, you crazy. Jameis Winston's about to be the starter, and Taysom Hill is going to literally be Tim Tebow 2.0. That's it.
You say that, but last year when they had the opportunity to start Jameis Winston, Peyton didn't take that opportunity.
Why? Tell the fans
why. I still to this day don't know why.
I'm gonna tell you why. Who had more time in that system?
Teddy Bridgewater didn't have much time in that system the year before, but he stepped in and won games.
Not the point that I'm making. Who had more time in the system? Jameis? Taysom.
Taysom.
Okay. Taysom had more time. Okay. At the time, okay, who understood the playbook better? Jameis or Taysom?
It's not a valid argument. The year before, we had the exact same situation.
It's not about the year.
Teddy Bridgewater came in
this year.
Why they started Teddy Bridgewater the year before?
I ain't talking about last year. Last year, old news. I'm talking about this year. Who knew the playbook?
Taysom Hill.
Look, real quick. These comments are killing me. Keo, can you do me a favor and go watch the Golden Girls while we're on this show because you're killing me, Kat. So anyway, to me, Jameis is going to win the spot. He's more polished as a QB. I think and this is just my personal opinion. I think Sean Payton wants to open up the playbook. He wants to start taking some deeper shots. I think Jameis has the stronger arm, and I think it is time. I think it's time to open it up. Your thoughts, Justin?
I mean, Ideally, I think Jameis Winston is the better quarterback of the two. I think he should be the starter. I said that this year, though. I said that when they put Taysom Hill in. I didn't think Taysom Hill should have been the starter whenever Drew Brees went down for those 6 games or so. Um, I do like. I have mixed feelings when it comes to this contract. I think it does give the Saints more wiggle room because the base salary went down quite a bit. That pretty much says if he doesn't start, he's not our guy, he's not a Pro Bowler, he's not an All Pro, he's going to get a lot less per year, which is good for the Saints, not good for him. This is one of those Ricky Williams situations here.
I like it.
This is one of those Ricky Williams situations. He could either be paid like a backup or a third string, or he could be paid like Russell Wilson, all dependent on his performance. And I think it's good for the Saints, but at the end of the day, right now we're as a Saints franchise. Just today, we just met the cap requirements, so we're really cap strapped. If he goes out there and he becomes Lamar Jackson or someone like that, not saying he will, but let's just play in La La Land today, okay? He goes out there and performs. Can the Saints afford him?
So can you do me a favor and this La La Land, like La La Land is a little erroneous, a little crazy. I don't see him being Jameis only because Jameis is just the more polished QB. If you look at how, yes, the Jameis's final year in Tampa, he did throw 30 picks, but the Joker did throw like 5,000 yards and 30 TDs. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just saying that it's going to be a tough battle, but in the end, I think it's Jameis's to win. And Sean Payton came out and endorsed him.
But so they endorsed him last year to be the backup. Was he not labeled the backup to Drew Brees last year going into the season and all year?
Who knew the playbook?
No. Okay, if he knew the playbook, then why didn't they label him the third string quarterback at the beginning of the year?
Who knew the playbook?
Okay, why did they not put him as the third string if he did not know the playbook?
If seniority matters, they're not going to embarrass Jameis like that. They know what they're using Jameis for. They know the plan. Just watch. Jameis going to be our guy. So let's right along. So, man, we had some pretty big signings today over the past couple of days. Two of which, Ryan Fitzpatrick signing with the Redskins and Andy Dalton signing with the Bears, right? Out of the two signings, which one was better in your opinion?
Andy Dalton to the Bears and Fitzpatrick to the Washington football team?
Yes.
I'm not a big fan of either one. Honestly, I think Fitzpatrick to the Washington football team probably puts him as the starter. I think he may be just going there to mentor a young quarterback that they have in Washington. I think that could be a situation. But if I'm being honest, I don't know if it's really an upgrade from Alex Smith. I think they're kind of two in the same. You get rid of Alex Smith, you get Fitzpatrick. I know Fitzpatrick, he has a lot of experience. He's a journeyman. I don't know if this is one of those next stop for Fitzpatrick to play a starting quarterback for the most teams in the NFL history. I don't know what that is, but I don't like either signing. Andy Dalton leaving Dallas. We don't know how Dak's going to come back from his injury. I mean, I know he's getting paid now, so he better perform. But if he doesn't perform and he gets injured, then where do they go to? They don't have a backup plan. I'm always a big believer in backup plans. like the Saints did. Anytime you're a Super Bowl contender and you have a quarterback that you don't know who's going to injury, stay away from injury. You want to have a backup plan, and I have something to say about that later on when we get to our next topic. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of both. I think it takes the Chicago trade from for Russell Wilson off the radar. I think Russell Wilson is going to stay put now. He really doesn't have out of the places that he asked for. They're all pretty much locking up their quarterback position. So I think Russell Wilson stays in Seattle now.
So I agree with the Fitzpatrick comparison to Alex Smith. I like what Chicago did, and I'm gonna tell you why. Mitchell Trubisky, you got one or two choices. Career back, you could be a backup in Chicago or deuces. Nick
Backup to who?
Hold on. There's a method to the madness.
Okay.
Nick Foles, you got that big deal. You got that big deal in Jacksonville that we're still paying on right now. You either need to take a cut or buy. And neither one or the other is going to shake. You don't have to pay Trubisky the money now. You don't have to pay him top tier quarterback money. You don't even have to pay this dude what Jameis got, to be honest with you. You could pay this dude $5.5 million and he'll be all right. Right? Nick Foles, it's more about the cap piece for me. When I look at Ryan Fitzpatrick is basically going, like you said, to mental and to play the game safe. Because right now, Washington, in my opinion, could win the NFC East again.
Wow.
That defense is ready. We got to agree to that. That defense is ready. That offense is a quarterback away. If they can get that offense up to snuff with a decent QB that's not going to make too many mistakes, trust me, Fitzpatrick takes chances. Don't get me wrong. Alex Smith, he's a guy that, everything's safe. Everything's safe. Everything's safe. He's safe money. Whereas Fitzpatrick, when he's on, hey, man, he's on. But when he's off, oh, Lord, he off. So I say that to say, out of the two, I like what Washington has done. However, I love what Chicago has done because Chicago now frees up money. And I don't think Andy Dalton's bad. I think Andy Dalton, for a long time, in his best years, always had a good offensive line. And if y'all protect the dude, protect his blind side, Andy Dalton's not going to be bad. And you giving them Allen Robinson on top of that, and a decent running game, something he hasn't had in quite a long time before Joe Mixon. Come on, man. Come on.
Are you being disrespectful to Ezekiel Elliott?
Listen. They lost two offensive linemen on Dallas's offensive line last year. Okay? Zeke did not Zeke's good. Don't get it twisted. Zeke is really good. But last year, in the COVID-related year, everybody keyed up on him. You knew what you was going to get. You play Dallas, they're going to run it 25 times towards Zeke's way.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to run 25 times. Zeke going to probably get about 60 yards. Guaranteed. Just being honest. And like I said, if you protect Dalton, you win. You win heavily. But if you don't, you're in trouble. Trubisky, get rid of this dude, man. Trubisky was like the biggest mistake Chicago made, hands down. Hands down. That was like the worst. And if I'm the owner or someone within like management, I'd have fired the GM and I'd have definitely fired the coach for that nonsense. I so want to say BS, but I'm not going to curse on live television. I'm not going to curse on live for everybody. All right. The New England Patriots. Man, these jokers making some moves over here. They signing checks. You know, next they're gonna be signing me to a deal. So with the Patriots resigning Cam and making all the moves they made, will it be enough to not only jumpstart the offense but also get them back to being the kings of the AFC East?
I have three answers for that. It's a no, no, and hell no. Nelson Aguilar, Hunter Henry don't impress me at all. That and Cam Newton in that offense don't impress me. Unless you're saying that they're going to change the offense completely, because last year they were playing the Air Force option out there with Cam Newton. Wasn't throwing the ball hardly ever. Every play was an option run. No, I just don't see it. I mean, I don't know if they got their stimulus check this week or something, because they're writing out checks to no names, people who don't really make an impact. But I'm not impressed by these signings. I don't think it gets them back into playoff contention. I'm not impressed by Cam Newton in New England. I'm a Cam Newton fan. I just don't think he is. I don't think he's ready to be back in the spotlight. I don't think he's that top 10 quarterback like he used to be at one time. And I just don't think this is the right move. I think this is going to be another rebuilding year. I think every year that Tom Brady is going to be in the league will be a year that Bill Belichick will have to cry in a corner while his team loses and Tom Brady wins.
You ready for this, man? I'm not going to say that they're going to win the AFC East. I'm going to say that they'll probably be the second best team in the AFC East with this move. And I'm going to tell you why. And I think they're a playoff team. And I think they're a lot tougher.
Dolphins?
Over who?
The Dolphins?
Yeah, I think so. And I'm going to tell you why. Last year, they had, 9 players? I think it was like 9 players, 6 guys on the defense, 6 important guys on the defense on top of that who sat out due to COVID. Opted out. Okay? Next thing I'm going to put out there to you, Cam was signed late in the offseason, and he went through his battle with COVID at one particular point. Cam didn't understand that playbook the way he should have. Cam didn't even get a full offseason like most of these people haven't. The only, this past year, if you win, well, I'll just say this because Tom Brady is just who he is.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Tom Brady did the exact same thing, yet won a Super Bowl. So your point is useless at this point.
Tom had an offseason.
A virtual one?
No, Tom had an offseason. He was practicing with his team outside in high schools. So Cam, unfortunately, signed late in the offseason, had a battle with COVID. So he was way behind the curve when it came to a playbook. So they pieced together a playbook. They pieced together a game plan that circled around Cam and his strengths. Now, this year, you probably will get a whole offseason where you will be able to learn the offense and every nuance. And, by the way, Cam, in his best years, he had a great tight end. Cam, in his best years, had a pretty solid running game. Guess what? Sony Michel about to put that work in. Guess what? Carolina in their best years, when Cam was winning MVP, very good defense. Guess what? The Patriots are going to have a damn good defense. If if Stephen Gilmore and the rest of that defense is coming back, and they just signed out, oh my God, you just y'all can say what you can say. Nelson Aguilar's a bum. Okay, fine. I mean, the guy was piecing people for 18 plus over 18 yards per catch. Okay, if not more. Hunter Henry, he's solid. He's solid. Jonathan Smith, I think he robbed him a little bit, but I think he's going to be solid. And then on top of that, didn't they just sign from the oh my God, hold on, I just drew a low brain fart. Matthew Judon. They just signed Judon. Judon was a dog. A dog in Baltimore. A straight DOAWG. I know I added too many letters.
He was a chihuahua at best.
You disrespectful. You are so disrespectful. But the point I'm trying to get at is that they signed some very good pieces. This could be a team that's going to compete at a high level. And again, I don't see Belichick being like a dweller in the AFC. Now, granted, I did see that the Jets made some moves. I don't know if it's enough. The Dolphins been a little quiet. Buffalo's making a little bit of noise. All I'm saying is, of all the people who have the bread to spend, I think what the Patriots have done is the right thing. I just feel it. I just do. So, who are your biggest winners and losers thus far in free agency?
Of course, I think it's without being said, the biggest losers are the New Orleans Saints. But I think it was kind of, I think we knew it was coming. We lost a lot of defensive players and offensive players. Our defensive line are going to be really, really shallow. We lost Hendrickson to Cincinnati this week. Sheldon Rankins looks like he's on the way out. We just traded Malcolm Brown to the Jaguars. We lost one of our cornerbacks. And Emmanuel Sanders just signed with the Buffalo Bills. So that's a big hole. But I think that was going to happen with our cap space. I think one of the biggest winners, a lot of people aren't seeing it, but I think Houston is doing some good things. I think, Houston bringing in Tyrod Taylor as a backup to hopefully Deshaun Watson, if he plays, is a big deal. If he gets traded, at least they have somebody that they know can be a decent starter in the NFL. Depending on what else they get for Deshaun Watson, they could get another starting quarterback for him. Them signing Mark Ingram, they have a lot of good signs. I think the biggest loser, and a lot of people are not going to see this, it's one big loss that I think could bite them in the butt, is the Indianapolis Colts. They just signed one of the most injury-prone quarterbacks in the whole NFL, Carson Wentz, and they just lost Jacoby Brissett to free agency. They literally don't have a backup plan at this point. They have one of the most injury-prone quarterbacks. They're a Super Bowl contending team this year.
Where'd Jacoby
go? He went to. Let me check my. To Miami. He's backing up Tua. Yeah. And that's a big signing for Miami, too. That gives them a little bit of breathing room when it comes to Tua, some learning for him. But yeah, it really hurts Indianapolis because what are they going to do when Carson Wentz goes down? And you got a team that legitimately is competing for an AFC championship right now. They're one of the top 4 or 5 teams in the AFC, and now they're putting all of their hopes and admirations into someone who's injury prone, and they don't have a backup plan. So unless they bring in somebody, which I haven't seen yet, but we'll see. Right now, I think they're the biggest losers in free agency.
So this is my take on this, and I might catch some flack for this, but oh well. I'm used to this. I'm the franchise. This is what I do. Um, One of the biggest winners of free agency, I gotta give it up to not only the New England Patriots, but I also gotta give it up to the Jets. The Jets have made some pretty quality moves. Um, Adding some top flight wide receivers, Marvin Jones. Oh wait, Marvin Jones went to the Jags.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, the Jags did make some quality
But,
moves.
but they picked up Marvin Jones, but they're in serious talks of trading DJ Shark. Do you see that being an upgrade from DJ Shark?
I wouldn't trade DJ Shark at all. Shark was sure-handed. Route running was very solid. I think Jacksonville will be bugging, but I think they're doing it because they know they're gonna have to pay him after next year. They like if their thinking is, yo, if we don't get rid of this dude now, he's gonna cost us on the arm and the leg, and we may not be able to pay him. We might not be able to pay him. Um, Another team that I felt like did a great, like I said, Patriots. I think the Bucks. We haven't talked about the Bucks at all. I mean, getting majority of their guys back, and they're trying to bring everybody back. They're not trying to just. They're trying to bring the whole squad back for another great run at it. What I've noticed a lot, you don't see long term deals. You're seeing a lot of 1 and 2 year type deals so that people can get back in free agency, and once the money picks up either this year
Yeah,
or next
I think
year,
it's the COVID cap space that's really preventing that because
yeah,
you want to get that big money, and right now you can't get that big money, so you want to just bet on yourself and wait till that money comes back and then get it in the back end.
exactly. Um, I'm not liking what Dallas did. I like you gave Dak the money and you don't realize that, yo, Zeke, you could lose Zeke in 2 years. Oh, by the way, you could lose Amari Cooper. You could lose Amari Cooper in 1 year. You just paid this dude $40 million, $40 million a year. I mean, seriously, think about this. And he's not going to have they're going to dump some of them offensive linemen. They're going to dump Zeke. I can see that right now. That writing is so far on the wall, it's retarded. All they're waiting for Zeke to do is do something stupid, and they're going to be like, bye.
Mm-hmm.
Amari Cooper, take a cut or bye. Straight up. Because we got to pay this dude that. It is what it is. So I'm not liking what Dallas did. Another team that I'm just not I don't understand why they're not making any movement. To be honest with you, I don't know why and it's baffling. But why isn't Minnesota making any moves? Like, y'all just gonna stay pat with Kirk Cousins, aka I'm robbing another team again?
You like that? You like that?
Oh, they gonna like that, all right. A defense that's slowly getting picked apart year after year after year. I'm not high on them. I'm just not. One last team that I'm just definitely not impressed with, and it's gonna really hurt. I think it's really gonna hurt them this year. Pittsburgh. Juju's about to walk. Bud Dupree walked.
They re-signed Ben though. That's a big deal.
That's going to sting quite a bit. So if you know, again, and I understand the cap, it is what it is, but the same token, hey man, hey, these dudes trying to get paid. These dudes are really trying to get paid. All right. Um, and then I got one final topic
Here
for
we
you.
go. Improv.
Man, you know how I do it, man. You know how I do it. You know how I do it. Um, so how do I ask this great old question here? Um, in your opinion, do you think that sports will be halted another year or during this upcoming year due to COVID?
No,
You
I
think
think
every
I think we're in the upswing. I think we figured out how to play safe. Um, we're having the tournament, the NCAA tournament, for the first time in 2 years. I mean, that's happening. It's starting in 2 days. I hope that it doesn't get halted. But as far as football and basketball, I mean, the NBA is doing really great right now. You have situations where we have certain players being sidelined for a little bit, but we really haven't had many um, other than like the Spurs recently. You haven't had many teams go down for very long. So I think they're doing it very well. The NFL season did fantastic this year. And now with all the numbers going down, most states, I live here in the state of Texas, and our numbers are going tremendously down. We just opened up the state 100%, no mask mandate or anything. Numbers are going down. Um, so I really think with all this vaccination happening, the president says that every American will have the opportunity to have a vaccination by, was it June? So I really think, is it May?
May 31st?
May.
May
So
1st, May 1st, May 1st.
May. So I really think that this coming up year is. I hope this is our year, man. I hope this is our year to bounce back and get back to some normalcy because we can't live like this forever. I mean, I know both of us on this broadcast have experienced COVID firsthand. Um, a lot of our viewers don't know that both of us have had COVID. We experienced it, but this is something we want to put in our past. We need to get through this, and we can't live like this. We can't live in fear forever. We have to get through this, and I'm ready to get back to normal.
Um, Justin, I would love to see some level of normalcy. I really would. I ain't gonna front. I mean, it does feel great to be able to watch sports and in Maryland it's a little bit different. I mean, we don't have we still have mask mandates and all that good stuff. And our numbers have gone down. However, whenever I look at from an athletic perspective, like you looking at we're looking at the NCAA tournament, Duke bowed out, Virginia bowed out, due to COVID issues. NBA, they're having to postpone games, cancel games. Why? COVID. What I'm saying is, I don't know if it's gonna get better. I think it'll get better, but I think we need more time. And I had this funny feeling, and hey man, y'all can say a franchise is bugging. I think we're gonna get shut down one more time. I hate to say it, I just do. It's too many variants. It's everyone's talking about the vaccines. Some people don't want to take it, some people do. I just see it getting shut down one more time. And then I think all will be well in the world. Where Justin and I could go eat Buddha and eat
You've been
crawfish.
living too much in the South. I mean, too much in the North for too long, man.
Hilarious. All right, man. Let's go ahead and get to our shout outs, man.
All right, man. Well, shout out to the NBS crew. This is actually my last night in the state of Texas. Uh, well, last day. Tomorrow night, I head to DFW where I'm flying out to Northern Cali to visit the North Cali bum, like you called him earlier, Keo. So maybe we'll end up doing a show next week via Cali. So I'm super excited about that. Shout out to all of our watchers out there, our loyal listeners. We appreciate that. Shout out to you, Jasper X. Check out our shows. We got Let's Talk About It coming on tomorrow. We got a great show with Chris probably coming on Thursday. Bragging rights. We got a lot of good shows, man. Check us out. We got a lot of good interviews coming up, man. Y'all check us out. And we got people lined up. We had a great interview. If you haven't checked it out last week was a great interview. We had Patrick Ricard, the best fullback in the NFL, live on our show last week, and they had a lot of interesting topics, a lot of interesting answers. Um, so yeah, go check that out, man. Please, please, please watch it and share it because we need all the love we can get so we can get more great content out for y'all. So what you got, man?
Interview was DDOOPPEE. Dope. Check it out ASAP. ASAP. Please check out our interviews. Check out all of our content. Man, I definitely want to send a special shout out again to Justin. You know, being able to hold it down. While your boy was in the hospital and whatnot. Hey man, special shout out to I gotta give him a special shout out. University of Maryland Charles County Regional Medical Center did an amazing job. Doing right by your boy. Man, they did not have to put up with some of my nonsense and my complaining and everything like that, but they did, and they looked out on so many levels. I am extremely grateful. I'm extremely humbled. Shout out to everybody who prayers and everything, the jokes, the laughter, getting me through it. It was much needed. Man, shout out to True X Sports Junkie, Keo, Justin, again, holding it down, Chris, Marlon, Mike, Yvonne, who need to bring his Croatian tail on the damn show, and I'm calling him out. I'm tired of this. Yvonne Matic, Antonio Matic, bring your tail on here ASAP. Nah, man. Shout out to everybody, in Sports Talk America. Again, shout out to all the first responders. Taking care of people. Man, just shout out to the world. Shout out to my mom, my dad, everybody. Like I said, that called, my sisters, brothers, everybody. My best friends, my AD, shout out to him. Shoot, man. Just like I said, man, hey, stay safe out here, man. That's the best thing I could tell you. My greatest word, my words of advice before we call it a night, when you lying in bed at night, hey man, be thankful for like the small stuff. Be thankful to breathe. Be thankful for like food. Be thankful to like being able to like blink and speak, because somebody doesn't have the opportunity that you have. So man, be thankful, be blessed, be amazing, be awesome. Don't complain about nothing. Like life is great. Like real talk, life is great. I'm on a cool podcast talking sports with Just Justin. Can't beat that, man. I can't. Well, I could. I mean, having the sports junkie, but I mean, I can't have that. So it's all good. I'm just joking. I'm joking. That was my joke of the night. I'm done.
Man, this is Grammys week. I almost started putting music on for your acceptance speech.
Come on, man. Damn. Oh man. Oh man. Let me take that back. But now, with that being said, real talk, man. Be blessed, be thankful, be grateful for what you do have. Don't stress about what you don't. Um, with that being said, for Just Justin, I'm Mr. Franchise signing off. See y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.